Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding you to love life, and trade it. How are you doing, folks? Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you are loving Winsday, spelled with an I. Winsday. Yes, yes, yes. Hope you're doing amazing, crushing life. Jordan says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jordan. Carolyn Bailey says, hello, all. What's going on, Carolyn? Hope you're doing majestically marvelous. Bill Alberts, Tyner. Everyone's saying hello, wonderful, tremendous, incredible. Let's chat about it. So you all got the weekly options newsletter yesterday, and we nailed it almost to the penny. I think June might have been one of the best performing months of my career so far. A batting average for this month is like high 80%, which is almost unheard of. But the SPY, I thought about getting out of it at one point today for a smaller gain because I was up on Upwork and a few of our other swing trades, but I was like, you know what? It's the end of the month. Let me just kind of keep holding it. We got 2 more days left in June, and why not? See if we can make a little bit of money on the downside. So realistically, the SPY, it did close below the 10 a second time today. You did make a lower low and a lower high, and I got it this covered call, so I'm in a collar on the SPY. Feeling pretty good about it, realistically. So from here, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to hold these puts very long. We're up about 1R on them, and if we can get one more drop tomorrow or Friday, we should be able to hit our 2R target and lock in the month of June. We shall see. We will find out. So that's really all I got on SPY. Here's the Dow Jones ETF. And the Dow Jones, right, you had tons of volume come in yesterday, and we actually have an inside day candle. So I will be in the morning room from 9 to 11 Eastern tomorrow. So make sure you buckle up. I'll be recording the whole thing, and I'll be delivering massive value. So make sure you're there. It's gonna be an incredible opportunity to trade with Clive and Joanne and Albert and Bill and so many other amazing individuals. So the Dow Jones on a weekly chart at this particular point in time, I mean, again, just looks strong. I know I've said this before, but I want to make sure I blow everyone's mind. Type in a 2 if you want your mind blown really quick. All right. I know I've told everyone this before, but I want to make sure you're fully aware that I'm dead serious when I say this. The Dow Jones will hit 100,000 in 50 years. You guys all know that, right? Type in a 9 if you know that. Type in a 10 if you're an unbeliever. It's going to happen. I'll show you the math. It's very, very simple. Since 2008, we have gone up over 300%. So since 2008, we've gone up over 300% on the Dow Jones. Now, what happens if we go up another 300% in another 10 years from now? We're going to be very, very close to 100,000. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's going to happen in 10 years from now. I actually don't think that's going to be the case. We will have a recession at some point. But Timer, the Dow has never broken 30,000. Nope, we haven't gotten there yet. So the Dow Jones has not broken 30,000 ever in its lifetime, but it will, and it might even happen before the end of the year. Time Air says it was a book. There's a book called The Dow 30,000 in the year 2000. Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying that that person was wrong. They were just short as far as the time frame is concerned. I haven't read the book. If you find it for me, let me know. I'll be happy to read it. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. And in 150 years, the Dow Jones will be at 1 million. Now, I won't be alive to see that, but hopefully I have some grandkids will be around to see that. And it'll be really wild to see what happens in the next 150 years. But anyway, let's enjoy life while we have it. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about the Dow Jones. I love this distribution phase. Type in a 6 if you're shocked that I was one of the few bullish people in New York City last week. Everyone was bearish. I was one of the few bulls out there. I was like, man, I don't know, guys. I think we're just going to keep on climbing. Here's a distribution. We had a 20% correction. Everyone in the world thinks the market's going to go to absolute, I mean, it's just going to crush and go to zero. I'm not saying it can't happen, but what I am saying is if we do get a 50% correction, it would trade down to 13,000. I would buy it with all of my might, and then we would just absolutely crush it. So yes, I do think we go higher, and eventually, over time, I'm not saying that this is reasons that you should just go out and just load up at this exact price, but if you want to, for a long enough time frame, it won't really matter. The weekly chart, again, we're just at a really nice resistance. So whenever we break out of this, it's just going to be home free for the bulls. Wonderful. JL says, don't you watch Black Mirror? They will upload your consciousness to Dropbox, which will be eternal punishment. Oh man, it's always possible. Boy, oh boy, I'll just have to sit on the Dropbox servers for the rest of my life. That'll be fun. So there's the Dow Jones. Here's the Qs. And the Qs, a bit of an inside candle. Scott McKay has a covered call at 185, which will seem very cheap in 50 years for the Qs. And again, just hanging out, doing its thing. Here's the IWM. IWM, again, slowly pulling back. Bunch of bearish candles in a row, and I'd like it to pull back a little bit more. I don't have any position on the IWM, but I think it could drop down into 148.41. So if you were looking at a spot to go long, a position on the IWM, it'd probably be around right there, 148.15. Could be a spot to kind of just pick some shares up if you're interested. Oh, okay. Starting out heavy with Dropbox and uploading consciousness and big time frame perspectives on the markets. Let's go look at the stocks that we're going to check out and review today. And I'll also add cryptocurrencies to this list because why the heck not? Not that anyone here is trading cryptocurrencies or anything, but I might as well throw them in here and talk about them. First on the list, here is Carnival Cruise Line, CCL. And CCL, I was looking at this trade to discuss what I wanted to plan for today. And we do have a little bit of a morning star reversal on Carnival Cruise Lines. So now I would look to get in above the high of today's candle, which is also above the high of this high wave candle right here. Let me turn on the extended hours and see what that looks like. So what I'm noticing on the extended hours is that if it can break above here and then retest, that could be a little bit of a buying spot on Carnival. We will see. Don't hate it. So I'm not going to make it official yet, but what I'm going to do is just say if it breaks above, I'll buy that dip and see if we can get a little bit of a better price. Falco says, the kid bagging my groceries asked me about Bitcoin. Whew. It's coming in, folks. The top is close, or at least a top, a pausing time frame. I did sell, sold some of my Ethereum. I'll talk about that in just a moment, but yeah, it's good looking stuff. So anyway, Carnival, we'll look at it again tomorrow because tomorrow is Transportation Thursday. And we'll see what it does. Nope. All right, so let me write this in. Okay, so there's Carnival for tomorrow. I'm just jotting that down. Okay, so we'll come back and look at Carnival tomorrow. All right, next on the list is US Steel. And US Steel looks kind of cute because you have an inside day candle today. And what's interesting is here is an hourly chart, and it actually looks pretty good. So if I were to turn the exponential moving average on and just turn off the extended hours, we're just kind of tracking decently with the 50. As you all know, this is a stock I like a lot, playing it based on the 50 EMA. And it keeps bouncing off of that really, really well. So if you're looking at playing US Steel, I like it. Bullish. So trends looking kind of cute. Hourly chart just doing its thing. So we have an inside day candle today and a little bit of a high wave candle yesterday. So if you were looking at playing US Steel, I would be bullish short term. If you bought the dip yesterday or today, congratulations. And if you didn't, buy the breakout, stop loss there, and see if you can catch a quick little move on US Steel. That's pretty much what I got. Look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart. We have an inside week, and it is Wednesday. So we have 2 days left, and this is pretty much all I got on US Steel. All right, cool. But again, very fun stock to trade. Very volatile, very liquid. Schlumberger, AKA Schlumberger. Here's the daily chart, and I did set this up for a day trade today. This candle, this gap I have already back traded about 14 times. Plan on doing some more. So the next time I'm in front of 200 people live and my account's on the screen and I'm taking trades, I'll be a little bit more able to hold on longer. So that candle I will remember forever, in case you guys were wondering. But anyway, I also did try to get some of those R's that I left on the table back today. I did set up a trade on SLB and it did not trigger, and I canceled it a little too early, and that's okay. So pretty much here's the 3-minute chart on Schlumberger, and my entry, as you all know, you already know what it was. Entry was there, stop loss was there, and when it pulled back into the moving averages, you know, it kind of got a little bit of a bounce. I should have gone long around here for the stop loss right there. Shows how I should have taken the trade. I would have exited right here before the oil report, so I would not have held on to that. I would have got about 0.7 Rs. Didn't take that trade, but that's okay. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got on SLB. And yep, that's what I got. As far as the swing trade's concerned, there's a few people still in the swing trade that we set up over here, and that's absolutely okay if you are still in that swing trade. No worries there. And I would just keep holding. Here's the weekly chart. Weekly chart's doing its thing. Monthly chart. I mean, this candle is really what helped us take this trade long. Just the fact that it made that brand new low. Brand new low, barely dipped lower, but it did, in fact, dip. So looking pretty good for a dip buy. That is where we bought it. So if you're still long, that swing trade, keep holding. And if you're not, then we'll come back and see if we play that one a little bit later. Cool. Next on the list is EA Sports. It is in the game. So here's EA Sports, Electronic Arts, trading sideways, working on breaking out of this triangle. What I'm trying to figure out is how can we adequately play this triangle pattern for a nice short-term gain and also a longer-term move. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. What do you guys think? I mean, the interesting thing is the 50 is right there, but here's the daily. You got that nice inside candle. I'd really like to try a long right above there. JL says, I bought puts near the top of the channel at 99. Wow, nicely done, nicely done. Okay. The question is, if I play this, do I do it with options or do I do it with shares? That's really the only thing I'm trying to figure out. I might wait one more day, Albert. Yes, that is correct. Looks like it's flat after hours. Usually a triangle breakout, they're relatively volatile, so I don't think it's just going to pop and run. It most likely will retest a little bit. But you got to start getting prepared for EA to break out in one direction or another. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. The 50 EMA is the only thing I'm concerned about. Timer says the 50 and resistance. Yep, so you got a little bit of a 50 here. That's the only thing I'm just kind of concerned about, but we'll see. One more day, I'm gonna come back to it tomorrow. It does look really nice. If it does break out, we will make some moves. Here is my buddy JL Derulo and his chart. JL, I don't know about you, but you should have some kind of picture right here, man. Swole is the goal. Got to put those guns up there. A lot of ladies on TradingView. You might as well use your, might as well use what you got, right? So this was the channel that I saw went short after. I got you. So JL went long. The calls here traded up, and then he went long puts right there. My man, you're starting to get the game. Well played on EA. Buying low on calls and then selling them and then buying puts when it's high. Ladies and gentlemen, type in a 1 if that looks like a good trading plan right there. I'm gonna throw in a 1 because that's pretty saucy. Buy low, sell high. Pretty much that easy. I love it, man. Good stuff. I will keep an eye on EA. We're gonna look at it tomorrow and we will see what happens. Hey, Paul made it. Welcome, Paul. Meet Paul for Team Paul. Okay, next on the list, we have First Solar and FSLR. Bill, what covered call do you have on this one, my good man? What you got for me? Down now. 7 July 2nd at 66. Just keep on doing it. I love your trading game, Bill. 66, July 12th, 7/12, Bill B. Got it, my friend. Thanks for letting me know. Looks nice. So far this week is an inside week on First Solar. The daily chart is just slowly meandering, not really doing that much. Long-term moving averages, you know, they're just hanging out. And that's really all I have to say on First Solar. Just let it do its thing, let it chill, and I love it, man. Looks good. As far as a covered call, perfect placement. We'll find out what happens. Next on the list is British Petroleum, and as you all know, I love trading BP. Very fun stock, another stock that's really easy just to buy low and sell high. BP trading sideways, trading down into these support areas down here. So it's at a little bit of a resistance zone right now, and this put sale at 38 is going to be free money, I think. And then again, right now you have 3 days in a row of sideways movement on BP. So if we break out of the high of this candle, I would have to be a little bit bullish on BP. I mean, just longer term, it just makes a lot of sense. So other than that, that's all I got. That's pretty much it on BP. Timer says, where did you buy that put sale? Close. Don't buy put sales, right? You sell them. Don't buy them, but you sell them. And this was done. I have it's in our worksheet. Pull it up for you, which will have the exact day. I already know the exact day. On the daily chart was one of these days, May 13th or May 23rd or June 5th, somewhere over there. So I'll pull it up and I'll let you know. So let's go over here to credit spreads. Credit spreads current month. This was done on May 15th. There you go. So again, it's pretty much worthless at this point. I realize that, but again, here's May 15th, this bullish candle right here. So it's for July. It was a long time ago, and it will expire worthless, and that should be good. Oops, that was the wrong chart. I sent you my chart on Ethereum, which is fine. You're easily able to have that, but this is that is the BP charts. I might as well pull up this Ethereum chart since we're talking about it anyway in just a moment. Great question, my friend. Anyway, so sold those puts. Those are going to expire worthless in July. And that's about it. BP, just hanging out, trading sideways, buy low, sell high. Next on the list is Exxon Mobil. Exxon Mobil with a pretty solid one white soldier down here. I did not play this, but here's your Morningstar reversal. And here is your one white soldier to complete a Morningstar reversal, which is about as good as you can get. And you had that delicious gap up right there, followed by another new white soldier right here on Exxon. So it did have a nice little move. And then all it did is come into the long-term moving averages and had a little bit of a bearish flavor to it presently. So that's really all I got on Exxon Mobil. Other than the candles, this is a one black crow candle. This is a trigger for the one black crow, and this is a retest. So again, my basis on some of these trades is that we're going to be a little bit more bearish than bullish. So I'll do my best to hold those long puts on the SPY from the weekly options newsletter a little bit longer. Well, anyway, if ExxonMobil breaks down, what I'm trying to say is an inside candle, one black crow, banging its head against the long-term moving averages, that should be really, really nice. Falco says, how many for a murder of crows? So a murder of crows candle pattern is a one white soldier followed by a one black crow without triggering, followed by another one white soldier, followed by a one black crow that breaks the low of the first one black crow. That is a murder of crows candle pattern. and that's incredibly bearish. So theoretically, you'd have to get at least 4 candles for that to happen. Super rare pattern, but when it does, it is fire. I love one black crow candles. I mean, here's one right here. One black crow. Here's a one black crow. Here's a one black crow. They are very frequent little pesky devils. They work really well. Here's your weekly chart, and obviously the weekly chart on Exxon going sideways. Monthly chart, the 200 simple is at 74.23. So again, if you're buying the dip, just buy as low as you can, and indeed. That's all I got on ExxonMobil. Next on the list is Visa. So Visa, one of the strongest stocks on the planet. Dennis Dick is long Visa. By the way, pretty funny story for those of you who know Dennis Dick. We were having dinner at the Benzinga conference, after the Benzinga conference, and I was picking on him about something, and he said, dude, my last name is Dick. I know how to take a joke. And I was like, dude, I bet you do. Man, my last name is Newsom, and I look like I got thrown into a wood chipper. At least my face does. So it's like, I get it. But I couldn't even imagine my last name being D-I-C-K in middle school. Can you guys imagine that? Oh, how brutal that must have been. Anyway, so Visa, very small little candle. Super small inside candle. Oh boy. This is a new all-time high right here. I think we're gonna go lower a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. 174.73, 174.94. This is an all-time high on Visa yesterday. It was a gap and go. It gapped up, barely went higher. We're talking pennies, filled the gap out of an inside candle. Man, that thing is weak. Falco said the grocery bagger called the Bitcoin top flush. Yes, he did. That's the way it works. When the grocery bagger and the doorman tell you to buy something, that's when you got to start selling it. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. So anyway, I would be bearish on Visa, but we already have puts on the SPY. So I'm not specifically worried or concerned about Visa. You know, if it breaks down, I miss it. But, you know, if Visa breaks down here, then, you know, great. If you are not in those puts on Visa and you want to play that, you know, rock it out. So one of the letters that follows V in the alphabet is Z. And Justin Linderman asked the question, is Zillow a murder of crows? And it's very, very close. So this is a one black crow on the red arrow. This arrow in pink is not a one white soldier candle, and this is also not a one black crow. But the sentiment is very similar, and I'm not majestically bullish on Zillow after a pattern like that. So if you're looking at playing Zillow, I'd probably look for a short position. Entry here, stop up here. See, bearish, and you might even have a little bit of a tighter stop, you know, if you put it right there. Let me go look at the daily chart. Yeah, that's not bad. 15 minutes. I did not plan that trade. In fact, this is the first time I've looked at it, so I can't take that, but I can come back and look at it tomorrow. And if you have been planning Zillow, then, you know, feel free to take that trade. But if it doesn't trigger between today and tomorrow, I'll come back and look at it, what it looks like. It does look weak, and I would easily play that for a quick flash lower. All right. Next on the list is Workday. Falco, what do you have on Workday? Anything? Anybody having put sales on Workday? This is a very popular one to buy the dip on. And I mean, look at this bounce off the 100 simple. That is as sexy as it gets. Buy here. And where do you sell? Right there. Pretty easy. Buy low, sell high. Crazy. Okay, so next on Workday, oh man, I have a hard time buying up here. I'd have to buy around 187. Right below that low. That is a wicked pair candle pattern, ladies and gentlemen, on Workday. A wicked pair candle pattern. I can't set this trade up yet because I have not planned it 18 hours in advance, but I can come back and look at it tomorrow. Risk reward is a little bit off, but I could also watch it to see if it breaks down. That's a very, very nice candle pattern. And I will put this one on the list for tomorrow. I could also, I have the ability to write it down for tomorrow morning, Workday, and see if it can break lower. That's really all I got. So we'll come back and look at it tomorrow. Next on the list, USO. USO is at 1229. And it is, look at this pattern. Man. Right in the middle. Right in the middle of the 100 and 200 simple moving average. I mean, look at that high wave candle. There's so much you could do here. Realistically, if you're playing USO, and I personally won't, I'm just not a big fan, I would just bracket trade this, preferably on the downside for something like that. That would be my preference. But if it does, just keep on popping and screaming, pop, lock, and dropping. I mean, it is so sideways, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't trade this. I mean, it's in the middle of the 100, 200 on the weekly and the daily. Come on. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. USO, a position I do not think Dennis Dick has in his long-term portfolio. And that's all I have on USO. Bracket trade it, I'd prefer it to go lower. Okay, next on the list is APA. This is kind of cool. Apache, a lot of people like playing Apache. It is a dividend payer. It is not massively expensive. And here is the monthly chart, and Apache down at 29.03. Every time I pull up Apache, ticker symbol APA, Blake, I remember that story you told me, or your buddy, I think you said your buddy's dad who has a lot of shares. Ugh, so rough, man. 29 bucks a share right now, brutal. Anyway, I mean, long term, sure, buy low, sell high. There's many times I've said that before, and it's just eventually gone lower. Let me tell you the last times I've said that. Here, 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 and now there. And some Wednesdays in between, but those are really the times I'm like, guys, this is, you know, long-term, buy low, sell high, pick up some shares, accumulate if you want to, dividend paying stock, hold for a while type of position. So it should be pretty good. That's all I got on APA. I mean, if you're buying it, a very short-term trend, daily chart, I do like this. I mean, this is a perfect, if you're practicing high wave candles, this is it. That is a high wave candle from the heavens. Gapping up, you can easily bracket trade this candle and snag a gain or a breakdown, however you felt best to trade that one. That's pretty much it. Okay, next on the list is Home Depot, ticker symbol HD, and Home Depot doing its thing. Here's your exponential moving averages. Exponential moving averages, chilling. How did Team Baldwin do today? Are you both still in Home Depot? What an amazing cross above the moving averages on June 4th and June 5th. And a gorgeous new high of which to sell and lock in some profits on June 20th. That really was quite delicious. And you have a little bit of a new white soldier on Home Depot today. Here's the weekly chart, and this one is going to track along with the Dow Jones very well. So Home Depot and the Dow Jones is going to go kind of hand in hand. And so when this stock breaks out and goes higher, which it will at some point in time, then get ready to rock. That's all I have to say. I mean, looks strong, looks long and strong. Salesforce CRM. I had some people ask about Salesforce the last 2 or 3 days for some day trades. And yeah, this is an interesting candle. I don't know if we're going to be bullish tomorrow or not. I never technically know that, but if we do break above 151.71, you could easily play this for a long position on Salesforce. Right now, the stock is just kind of going sideways, and I really like this candle. I would like this candle to close. This is a weekly chart. So it does look moderately more bearish short term, but long term, I mean, it's just a buy the dip opportunity. I don't have any position on Salesforce right now. Can't be in everything. I would like to be in everything, but you know, I guess I just can't. So that's all I got on Salesforce. PRSP. This was a trade that your boy, Blake Anderson, almost got you all in. PRSP, it was canceled trade. Here it was. And the entry was 23.20. So the low of yesterday was 23.23. So he missed the entry by 3 pennies. And once he saw that bullish high wave candle, he said, yeah, if we take out the low of that candle, we're just going to keep going lower. So he closed the trade, he's canceled it, and I think at this point, PRSP could probably do something like that. So what I will do is, I have not planned this trade, but I can draw it. I can come back to it tomorrow and ascertain if I do in fact want to put on a bearish position and see if I can flip the script. Okay, so Thursday, PRSP. Next on the list, Alibaba, BABA. And the reason I'm pulling up Alibaba is to share with you the trade that I took today. Good trade, a little lucky, but I do like being lucky sometimes. Now, when I'm saying lucky, I mean, I did everything on this that I absolutely should have done, but it, you know, just it was a great trade. So here's the daily chart. And what I want to show you is why this was such a strong gap and why I played it. I talked about this some in the morning room, but I figured I'll talk about it now as well. Number one, bearish increasing volume. Number two, lower low and lower high. Number three, you got a little bit of an S-curve pattern, right? So here's the bullish trend, and you got the S-curve. And number 4, bullish gap and go. Number 5, it's above all the moving averages on the daily chart, so the trend was already bullish. Number 6, it was above all the long-term averages on the daily chart, so it just had a lot of goodness to make moves on. So anyway, a good gap up on Alibaba. So you all know how I played it because I did post it in Slack 3 minutes after market open. So that was last night. And here's market open right here. 8:33. So in case anybody wants to back trade Alibaba and see if you can play something similar to how I played it, here it was. Cyber says, number 7, it is Alibaba. That is true. It is Baba, so I'm not specifically bearish on a short term. But anyway, a $1 risk was the setup. Pretty classic. You guys have seen me do that 1.5 million times. Nothing really special about that. Again, it was a bullish gap and go, so I'm playing it somewhat aggressively and just entered. I did have a lot of people ask me a very normal question. Jeremy, why did you not sell everything at 2 Rs? Because I could have, and I agree, I normally do. And I did answer the question already earlier today, but who can tell me why did I not sell everything up here on Baba? I usually do, but why did I not? Number 1, began working immediately. I'm supposed to hold those, right? Who can tell me what number 2 is? Timer says not a losing trade. I love that. Timer is absolutely correct. So there's no way it could have been a losing trade. So just move my stop up. JL says Newsom needs new hardwood floors. That is correct. I do. What else? How about this one? It's the end of the month. It's the end of the month. It's the end of the month. And I'm up big. I don't need the Rs. That one's not going to happen a whole massive amount of times for people. I mean, I hope it does, but just statistically showing it won't happen to everyone all the time. But if I'm up big at the end of the month, there's no need for me to lock in profits. There's no need for me to collect and protect. I've already collected and I've already protected. Type in a 1 if that makes sense. So before that trade, I was already up 15 Rs for the month, not including futures, not including crypto. I don't feel like there's any need to include those this month. Wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, at the end of the month, I don't need the Rs. I don't need to lock anything in early for the day. So since I don't, I just said, hey, you know, if it can run and continue and do its thing, great, no big deal. Timer says, take your win and turn the rest into a swing trade. Is it sized right after your first sale? That's a great question. I could have done that. I could have. I only do that if I have planned on doing it before. Meaning if I planned it before the gap actually happened, I am able to hold. I just sometimes forget to plan my trades. And number 2, I did exit partials on this trade. You guys all saw the partial exits. So partial exit number 1 was right there for 10%. Partial exit number 2 was at 2 Rs. So I exited 20% at 2 Rs, and I got stopped out of 70% right there. So got a little bit over half an hour on the trade. And that's realistically it as far as Baba. So it's a really, really nice trade, really solid. And that's all I have to say about Alibaba. And again, regarding a swing trade, if you ever are in that position and you want to hold a little bit of a position, that's fine. Again, I do not have any shares of BABA right now. No new shares of BABA. I got out, but this was my old stop. I moved my new stop to right here, 169.33. And I should have moved it up to here after those candles formed. But again, I was just trying to give a little bit of time. Anyway, bottom line, it would have been a trade that I should have sold everything at 2 Rs, but I'm absolutely okay that I did not. It's not a big deal. I don't really stress about it. I don't really care that much. It's a great trade. So up over 16 Rs for the month, not including futures and not including crypto. The reason I'm not including futures is because I had an accidental huge win last week, and that was really cool. So good stuff. So anyway, BABA doing its thing. Now, if we get another gap up on BABA tomorrow, I will be inclined to go long again for a day trade. I don't think we will necessarily, but we could. So we'll find out. Robert Falco has a 160 put sale on July. Time Error says, what is a normal month for Rs? For most traders, I really want, if you've been trading less than 3 years, I would love for you to target that 1 to 6 Rs per month. It's a realistic amount. After 3 years, you've been in the game for more than 3 years, you really should be doing somewhere between 6 to 10 Rs a month. And that's just what you should be doing. And it can just stay there for a while, realistically. 6 to 10 Rs a month is phenomenal. If you do anything better than that, I mean, you're a legendary trader. So I have a few traders today, or sorry, in the month of June that are up over 30 Rs. I'm not one of those traders, but you know, maybe one day. Well, I am technically, but I've already donated a lot of it. 6 to 10 Rs a month. That's a great goal. And again, if you're doing less than 3 years, 1 to 6 Rs a month is realistic. Does that answer your question, my good friend? JL says, as your account grows, do you up your Rs? Yep, absolutely. You are going to indeed want to increase your Rs. After the end of 2019, I think I'm going to increase my R up to 1,000. I think I'm just going to go ahead and bump it up to 1,000 at that point. Albert says, after commissions and spreads. Good question. I mean, if you're newer, like again, you've been doing it one to less than 3 years, Albert. If you are breaking even after commissions or spreads and all that stuff, I mean, that's good. You just want to get time in front of the screen and not lose a lot. That's really your goal as a beginning trader, is to practice, get thousands of hours in front of the charts and just not lose a lot of money. Maybe you make some money, that'd be great, but just don't lose a lot. And then after that 3-year period, you get a skill that you can use for the rest of your life, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Because it really is just math at some point. It just comes down to math. So yeah, obviously, if you can make money after the commissions and everything, that is totally adequate. And commissions, if they are that big of a factor, either decrease the commissions or increase the Rs. Timer says, I'm wondering how big of an R you can realistically have before volume of trades gets in the way. That's irrelevant if you trade anything that's big. That's really the answer to your question. That's why myself and Ross Cameron have 2 totally different viewpoints on the market. Myself and Jason Bonds, Tim Sykes, all these penny stock guys. That's why I don't do that at all, ever. Mostly because number 1, they're total garbage, and number 2, that not including manipulation and front loading, volume is a big important factor. And if you actually have large sized Rs, it can become a problem. But if you're trading anything liquid, Timer, I have 3 traders that are in this chat pane right now that have over a $10,000 R. And I don't know any who took Alibaba with me, but I do know a few who trade BABA frequently, and you would have had no problem buying 10,000 shares of BABA today. or selling 10,000 shares of BABA, or doing, you know, 100 contracts, it wouldn't have been a problem. So if you're trading anything with actual volume behind it, like Apple, SPY, Net, I mean, it won't matter. Does that help? Does that answer your question? And again, this is well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I don't think it's that big of a deal not to tell you. But as you all know, one of my mentors is Anne Marie. And I had one of my weekly, I had a meeting with her today. And she was talking about trading some SPY contracts with 200 contracts, which is, I mean, that's a large position. I'm over here like, I got five contracts. Oh boy, look at me. 200. She's not even batting an eye. You know, but she's also been trading 26 years and she has a degree in neuroscience. I'm catching up. I'm getting there. Type in one if that makes sense. Jay Linder says, and she's so calm. She is so calm. Just take some time. Take some time. All right. Wow, I am massively behind somehow. I bet you guys have a drinking game that every time I get behind, you just start tilting up those cups. OKTA has been churning and burning. Gapping up, huge, and pulling back big time. So OKTA has already made its move, and I would definitely wait for this one to pull back some more. If you're looking at day trading this one, feel free to. I'm going to put this on my list for tomorrow. D. Simpson says, we should do that in September. Jeremy, drinking game. Ashley has all of the rules, so if you ever need to email her, she will give you all of my drinking game rules. It's like if I laugh at my own jokes, that's one drink, which is already too much for most people. Weekly chart, that is one massive candle, Mike. You're absolutely correct. And yeah, I think it probably will close similar to that and pull back at least a little bit more. So OKTA I have on the list for tomorrow morning to watch for a bearish day trade. Team Viewer, TEAM, team, trading sideways, chilling. Pull it into the 50 EMA, hanging out there, not really doing anything special, insane, or crazy. And it pulled back into a previous resistance. Right here, here's the resistance, June the 3rd. That was a dip buying opportunity, and then it really just pulled back again. All I can say on this one is if you're looking at playing it, bullish would be the direction. I personally would wait for a dip buying opportunity at about 115. That's all I got. Buy the dip, trend is long. I have no position on that one. SNA, snap-on. Look how sideways this thing is going. I don't even have to snap on a chart or anything to see candles, lines. This is just in a distribution phase from the heavens. Here's the daily chart. Yeah. Only way to play snap-on, condors. Full put spread, bear call spread, own some shares, do a covered call. This thing is horrifically sideways. Next on the list, we got ourselves Wayfair. This is one that Ashley has told me to start watching for a day trade, and I do mean my Ashley. So I set up a potential bear swing trade on it, and I don't tell you guys about every one of the trades that I take, but I will be watching this one tomorrow just in case Wayfair breaks lower. Bob has a 110 put set. put sale for November. And I'm going to watch Wayfair tomorrow morning for a breakdown and a continuation lower. If it does, I will be attempting or planning to short it for a day trade. If you do want to take a swing trade on it, just know that it's all Ashley's fault if you lose. So you can always just reach out to her and tell her that, you know, she made you lose money and make her feel bad. She'll start crying. It'll be kind of funny. And you can tell her I'm just kidding. I've done that before. It's really fun. About 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I told her, she told me something about Wells Fargo and how they were going to go lower. And they did going lower. But that day it actually went higher. And I called her on the phone with everyone on the day trading webinar and just told her that I lost 50 grand playing Wells Fargo. And it was her fault. That was great. Oh, that was funny. Anyway. She was like, what is that? Why were you doing this? I thought you had your risk. What was your stop loss? You know, she's asking me all the great questions. I was like, you told me that this was a done deal. Classic. Okay, Wells Fargo. Sorry, Wayfair. Looking at shorting it tomorrow. Maybe. Redfin. So Redfin was requested, and boy, oh boy. What is Redfin doing? It did fill the gap. I would probably bracket trade Redfin. This is a little bit of a high wave candle. So if it breaks this low, go bearish. If it closes above the high, go bullish. It's okay. It's pretty sideways. The weekly chart, I mean, you're below a very strong support over here. Very strong support. We did fill the gap, so we could bounce, no problem. We certainly could bounce, but for right now, I would be more hesitant and patient. I don't see anything alluringly special on Redfin yet. All right, next on the list is what would Harry do? Ticker symbol WHD. And I had one trader, I think it was Clive, looking at going long on Cactus Incorporated. No idea what this company is, an energy stock. Okay. Cactus Incorporated. Look at these high wave candles on a weekly chart. Well, what a perfect stock to look at on an Energy Wednesday. It does appear that it's going to work on forming a double bottom. Let's see if it retests tomorrow. I'd like to get that stop loss a little bit smaller. This is one that's going to go on the list for tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to keep watching it. I'd really like it to retest tomorrow and then break out, something like this. But if it does pop and starts running, I might have missed it already, and maybe I'll catch a pullback. But WHD, not bad. Falco says they must have gotten that ticker out of the bottom of the bag. Yeah, I think so. They were playing Scrabble and just, you know, couldn't get any other letters. Okay, Upwork, UPWK, we're going to increase the stop again on Upwork. So we did have a gap and go today. Everything did look nice. And yes, if you were wondering, was Jeremy thinking of exiting the trade today? I was. I would have made like a whole $50 on it. But whatever. So we're going to take the stop and move it to 14.89. Another 2-penny increase because it was a gap and go. Increase, stop on Upwork, swing trade. Okay, we're going to come over here. Swing trade, Upwork. I'm just going to increase the stop by pennies because obviously it's a gap and go. Obviously it should not go much lower than it is now. And I'm just going to try to be patient on this one, but all we're doing now is just losing 6 pennies less than previous. Increasing, stop again, almost exited today for a gain. I thought about it, but I hadn't technically written it down, so I can think about stuff all I want, but unless I've written it down and made it real, I can't do that. Next on the list is a trade that we are going to make official, CHWY, CHWY, and CHWY. One of these patterns, boom, boom, boom. Kind of hoping it does boom. It could do boom and then boom. I don't really know. I wish I knew for sure. But I love these candles. I love get a little bit of a gap today. Here's the hourly charts, and I like the numbers as well. So we're going to set this up. 33 by 30.55, official trade on CHWY. Carolyn says, I love that company. I use it often. Gorgeous. Timer says, are you taking the breakouts? I'm taking the breakout on CHWY. That is correct. So 6, 26, this should be 25. 2019, CHWY. Ladies and gentlemen, just because I like the trade does not mean it's going to work. I expect to lose on every trade that I take, and I don't think this is going to be any different. Probably going to lose on this trade, but I don't know that until we're in it. I think it's a good trade. I think it's a great trade, actually. Based on gap and go, open because it's not triggered yet. We'll put that right here. When to take the breakout versus retest. I bet I have a video on it. Okay, and I'll kind of come over here. New official swing trade. Video, real life trading, boom, boom, there you go.
Hello, traders.
And CHWY, that's it. 33 by 30.55. Morningstar reversal, high wave candles at a new low on a new IPO. We will see. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. That's what I got on CHWY. Mosaic, ticker symbol MOS. Mosaic does look interesting. Had a cute little gap recently. Here's the weekly chart, and you had a gap and go on a weekly chart back here on the 17th of June. That was last Monday. And it's just really kind of slowly following through. Again, another one of those energy stocks where it's like, is it going to bounce? And it should. It's trying to form an inverted head and shoulders pattern and then really, really break higher. I'm not saying that will happen, but it could / should. And the daily chart on this one, I really do like this high wave candle. It looks pretty. If I was playing Mosaic, it'd probably be more of a buy low, sell high type of trade. It does pay dividends. Could be a decent stock to do some covered calls on. We could keep our eyes on this one because it doesn't look horrific. I do like this little high wave candle that came in today, and we can come back and look at it on Friday. I don't know if I'll take the trade personally, but I have played Mosaic a few times before, and it is kind of good to play with options, you know, buy shares. You don't need a large account to buy the shares on Mosaic, you know, $2,000, $2,400 will buy you 100 shares, dividend paying stock, and then you turn around, do some covered calls on it, get called away for a profit at some point. We'll come back and look at Mosaic. I also really like Fiverr, bullish. And this is going to help me understand if Upwork will go up. Really nice Morningstar reversal. Fantastic high wave candle yesterday. And then we have an inside candle today on Fiverr. So if Fiverr breaks above these highs, it should run magnificently. But my same thought process is if Fiverr runs, Upwork probably does as well. But just in case it doesn't, we're going to see if we can set up a trade and come back and look at this trade tomorrow. Depending on what they do, we could always play both of them. Fiverr obviously hasn't been around long enough to determine how it trades in unison with Upwork, but there's only one way to find out. So we're gonna look at Fiverr more tomorrow. We got 3 left. Travelers, really funny story. In Montreal, one of the presenters, they were at the end of the show, everyone was doing a panel, and it was just the afternoon speakers who were in the panel. And so I posed the question, hey guys, what is one stock trade that you like between now and the end of the year? And one of the guys said Travelers Company, that he was buying some call options. And I put up the chart and said, that's a terrible idea. Look at this chart on Travelers. Oh boy, look at this weekly thing. So if you're wondering, did you go up and tell everyone that? I did not, but I probably should have. Just maniac bullish move. I mean, who would buy calls here? Now, granted, he did mention he had January 150 calls for January 2020, but I was like, bro, you're buying as high as you can, and he runs an option picking service? Come on, dude. So anyway, I think it's going to pull back a little bit, and then would be a relatively okay place to buy. But I would not be going long up here. And Travelers is one of the new additions to the Dow Jones. That is a beautiful one black crow. And what I'm going to do is short this thing so that I can make money on the downside. So we're going to come back and look at this tomorrow because it's a shave bottom one black crow. So I'm going to wait, let a retest come in, and then we're going to short it on Thursday or Friday and make some money on the downside to bet against the guy with the bad option timing. Okay, and the last but not least, obviously, cryptos are taking over the world right now. And cool. So Ethereum is making an astronomically strong bullish move, but I did get out technically at 361 and some change. So I moved my target a little bit higher, but even if you did get out at 358, that's absolutely fine. You made really, really good money on Ethereum. This was my little image. Sold it 361.24. 361.24. Beautiful little catch on Ethereum. The high of the day was 364.29. I think you have some Ethereum, JL, and I hope you are making some of that money back, or Litecoin or something. So anyway, hope you're crushing it. So what to do on it now? I mean, we're having a big giant spike. Low of this was 308, so I think I just got filled on 2 of my other open order positions. I had an order to buy here, and I had an order to buy here. I have another order to buy here. So most likely I will trade this up, sell here, buy the next dip, and then sell that at 393. I love trading, ladies and gentlemen. It's so fun. Bitcoin, BTCUSD, putting in some astronomically insane moves. I do only have a small position of Bitcoin left. I'm not sad that I missed the high of 13.8 on Bitcoin today. You can't really trail your stops on this thing because of candles like this. I have no idea where that would have filled. So giant pullback, massive upper shadow, huge volume. And yes, I am considering buying some more, but it's going to have to be on a pullback. So at this point, I have very small position on Bitcoin because one of my rules for crypto is never sell all of your cryptos. And yeah, folks, for those of you who have been buying with me down all throughout this time frame right here, congratulations. You are not wrong. In fact, you're the opposite of wrong. And Bitcoin is straight up crush monster. So buy the next dip. We'll find out when that is and where that will be. And what Bitcoin will do in the next 3 years, I have no idea, but it will be higher than it is right now. All right, folks, that's what I got for Energy Wednesday. What do you all want to look at tomorrow? Tomorrow, of course, being Transportation Thursday. Here's what I have on the list. for tomorrow already. We will look at Uber, NVIDIA, Southwest, CCL, our trade on Lyft that we're in, Tesla, EA, Zillow, Workday, PRSP, Caterpillar, Amazon, Square, WHD, Fiverr, Travelers. Albert says he has to go. See you all tomorrow. Yes, sir. I will see you there. Cool deal, folks. I hope you're doing really well. June has been an incredible month. We only have 2 days left in the month of June. Make sure to collect and protect. I will see you all tomorrow. I'll be in the room early morning tomorrow, and then I'm going to go to lunch with one of my real estate mentors to learn about some new positions to get in. And yep, you guys are amazing. Love you all. Take care. And until next time, love life, live by trade. Bye.